It's a joy to be with you in this historic place again. We were here, some of us, in 1968, fighting for an end to the war in Vietnam. We were losing lives and money and honor. We fought against that war at the Democratic Convention, with tear gassed in Grant Park in 1968. We're here 40 years later when President Barack Obama was elected, moment of hope and time. Now we come back May 20th for a massive march against the global economic military industrial complex. We dream of health care, education, affordable housing, but where is money? Too few have too much because they've been subsidized. We bail out the banks, not linked to lending or the reinvestment, subsidize their greed, globalize the capital without globalizing human rights. We bail out the insurance companies. Then we cannot negotiate the price of medicine on international terms. Too few have too much. On the other hand, we become much too violent. We lost fewer than 6,000 soldiers in Iraq in 10 years. With 30,000 a year at home to gun violence, 30,000. A year we have AK-47s and the M16s are now market. 11, 11, 11. Shot an AK-47 in the White House. The White House is not secure. No house is secure from these weapons of mass destruction. 30,000 a year. That's 5 times more a year than we lost in Iraq in 10 years. We become too violent. And look about what must we do? Too much violence, too much wealth and too much poverty. We must fight a war on poverty. We must fight as a multiracial, multicultural coalition. When they globalize capital, not globalizing human rights, looking for the cheapest labor market, they undercut this market. And when they close the plant, take your job to turn the lights out, we all look amazingly similar in the dark. This issue is not so much ultimately about black and white as it is about wrong and right, and dark and light. We must turn those lights on. But that means building a coalition. We're not inherited, we must build that coalition. Let's not forget, whenever we fight for racial justice, it is the trigger for social justice. When we look at the new America of the last half century, when the racial justice was exposed, injustice was exposed, none made progress. In 1965, we got the right to vote in Selma, Alabama. Blacks could not vote in the South. But white women couldn't serve on juries until blacks got the right to vote. Whites who were farmers who couldn't pay poll taxes, they could not vote. 18-year-olds serving in Vietnam, they could not vote. Students on campuses either had to go home to vote or vote absentee. They got the right to vote in 74. That's Selma too. Multicultural voting in 1975. When we come together, we have the power to change the course. Don't let these forces break our spirit. We must turn our pain to power. I'm concerned that we look at the Trayvon Martin case, it simply is taking the scab off the sword, or the cover of the book. There are many pages beneath the Trayvon Martin book of violence. Too much of it, and must be addressed. This is the time, I'm convinced, to revive a ban on assault weapons. This is the time to stop the violence. What about the time then now to end these wars? That's why the May 20th March has big meaning. We spent $3 trillion, some estimate, on the Iraq war, $3 trillion on the wrong target. And 2 Africans apologized, $3 trillion. $1 trillion of that money to wipe out every state budget deficit, reopen schools, rehire teachers, firemen, librarians, put America back to work. We squandered too much money on war And we have a notion that more war is more security, more war is less security. We must figure out a way now to rebuild our own coalition. And look at your faces today. There must be a South Side component in this march. West Side, we must live together. Red and yellow, brown, black, and white. We're all precious in God's sight, separated more by information than we are by anything else. We must find this common ground. I'm concerned about the schools in this city. The schools are 45% African American, 45% Latino, about 10% white. Suspensions, 76% African American, 20% Latino, less than 10% white nation. What does that mean? The kids are suspended 306,000 days a year. Where do they go? You suspend a child for 10 days. Will he or she catch up in physics, a chemistry, a math after 10 days on an extended vacation? Where will they go? Suspensions drive expulsions. That drives truancy. That drives gangs. That drives street salesmen. That drives jails. That drives regular graveyards. We must go another way. Not long ago, it seems, Jennifer Hudson's mother and brother were killed in Inglewood. While in the middle of the street about 11 at night praying one night, I heard footprints. Young gangbangers coming my way. One about 15 years old looked at me and began to cry. He said, "Reverend, I want to get well, but they've closed the detox centers. I can't get well." He began to cry. Another said, "Reverend, we just came out the joint. We want to get a job. We learned a skill in the jail. In Illinois, we make over 600 products in the jails. We make furniture. We can work. We cannot find a job." So I sought to embrace them in the area, 35% unemployment in that zone. Sought to embrace them. I looked at the street, the school down the street. If they go to school, they get 5 meals a week. Jail, 21 meals a week. For them, jail becomes a hotel. Becomes a hotel. It becomes a homeless shelter. Here we are as we seek to be more humane. Correction Corporation of America and Nashville, Tennessee is buying state jails if they guarantee 90% occupancy. Locking up youth for a profit and for a living. We must go another way. I say let's march, let's occupy. Occupy is not a recent phenomenon. As we celebrate this Easter season, Jesus was from the poorest of the poor, not like Herod, not Sadducees, not Pharisees. Did not have the right to vote on the Roman occupation. Poor, born in the hole, in disgrace. He had to go to Egypt as an immigrant, as a refugee. He fought for the poor because he was among the poor. He faced crucifixion as he fought occupation. So often we fight occupation, we face crucifixion. But why was he killed? Because he fought and he occupied the corrupt temple. He went to the house of prayer to pray and found corruption buying up the holy place. He occupied the temple. He said, why should the rich occupy the holy place? One with the widow's mite across the street, she cannot even get here heard, and she's giving all that she is the 99%. And so he occupied. Thought the king's last act on earth was to come to Washington, a poor people's campaign. Bill Resurrection said to occupy, from Washington Mall to Lincoln Memorial, and the man that we choose a war on poverty at home, another war in Vietnam, that we make that choice. And so today we keep occupying for jobs and justice and health care. But through all that, no one break your spirit. When our movement is broad-based, we turn each other with a sense of joy and hope, we win. We've never lost a battle that we fought. We've never won the battle unless we, but say we have never. Repeat, we've never lost a battle that we fought. we fought. And never won a battle.
Never won a battle.
Unless we fought.
Unless we fought.
We fought. As abolitionists. We in slavery. We won. We fought. The amendment. Women have the right to vote. We won. We fought. The workers. They have the right to organize. We won. We fought. In the apartheid laws. In 54. We won. We fought. To get from the back of the bus. We won. We fought. For every American. They have the right to vote. We won. We fought. For housing. And we won. We fought. To end the war in Vietnam. And we won. We fought. To free Mandela. And we won. When we fight, we win. Therefore, let's fight. Occupy for jobs. Occupy for health care. Occupy for justice. We must learn a new lesson. We've learned a bad lesson well. We've learned to survive apart. Now, we must learn to live together. When we come together, we make crooked ways straight. We come together. We turn dark midnights into noonday. We come together. We have the power. So let's march. Let's make May 20th the new day. Make May 20th the groundbreaking day. The deal-breaking day. That day, we said the generals, say the war no more. Say the war no more. End missiles. Build schools. Build hospitals. Build health care. Build houses. This land is our land. We'll march longer, no matter what the cost. We will win, because we will fight one day longer. One day longer. One day longer. One day longer. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Louder, keep hope alive. Put your hands together like you mean that. I close on this note. Every Saturday morning we have a meeting, Rainbow Push at 50th and Drexel Boulevard. Dr. King's workshop, part of his legacy, in Hyde Park. I urge you to meet us this coming Saturday. We'll be talking each week. We're on live broadcasts around the world every Saturday about May 20th. May 20th. It's our day. May 20th. New day. New hope. May 20th. Jobs. Justice. And health care. And peace. May 20th. End the war. Reinvest in America. May 20th. Wipe out malnutrition. May 20th. Affordable health care. Single-payer health care. May 20th. Today, we redefine our nation, and we change the course. Love you guys.